Hi, my name is Norm Zadeh. I just published a book on Hold'em poker called Hold'em Poker Super Strategy, available through Amazon, that I'm quite proud of. That book gives what I contend are very accurate strategies for opening, calling, and raising before the flop, as well as for play after the flop. In order to compute those strategies, I had to come up with a mathematically sound way of ranking Hold'em hands. A question that frequently comes up is like, what's the better hand? King, queen, or say ace nine, 10-10, or say ace king. Now, I rank the hands using the following uh, logic. If you have a hand like, say, 10-10 or ace king, that hand could be up against either strong ranges when it's acting, in a good position, or weak ranges when it's acting in a good position. In other words, you would be playing 10-10 or ace king against a player who opened in a bad position and also against a player who opened in a good position. So in order to rank those hands, you really have to look at how they do against hands of various strengths. And so this first table, which I pulled from Hold'em Poker Super Strategy, does exactly that. It looks to see how a pair of tens does against the range ace 10 or better, ace 9 or better, ace 7 or better, ace deuce or better, or king 5 or better. Same for ace king, 7-7, ace 10, and so forth. And then it just adds up all the percentages to get an overall ranking. So that is one way that I use, the primary way to rank the hands. This table also provides some useful information for raising and other purposes. It turns out that in order to call somebody, you need to have roughly in general about a 50% chance against their range. And so you can actually use this table to determine that. For example, against a range of ace 7 or better, your minimum calling hand would be somewhere in this general range, ace 10 suited, 6-6, ace 10, maybe 5-5, in that general range. That's a simplification, but it's reasonably accurate. The next table I created for situations where you're up against a bad range, like you might be the big blind and the opener was in the dealer position or the small blind. And in that case, the ranking is a little bit different. I just looked at how the hands did against a relatively weak range of king 5 or better and ranked them in that way. And then the last table I created deals with three opponents. It turns out the ranking is a little bit different, but not substantially different if you're up against three opponents. I assume the three opponents' ranges were ace 9 or better. That would have been the opener. And then two opponents who had a range of ace 9 or better capped. The capped meaning they didn't raise, so they did not have their very best hands. In that situation, this table shows that, in fact, medium pairs are actually a little bit better than ace king. For example, here 10-10 wins 37% of the time, whereas ace king only wins 28% of the time. And this table also is interesting because it shows that suited connectors, while not really that wonderful against one player, become more usable and more playable against multiple players, because now if they happen to make their straight or flush, they're going to get a better payoff in general. The last thing I looked at when I created these tables was which hands win the really biggest pots, and it turned out that the big pairs won more really big pots than hands like ace king and ace queen, which supported what appears in the tables. Thank you.